Okay, you can
Yeah.
see it now.
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant. It's really important that you see it. I think it's easier to follow because I'm talking about too many things, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, let's have a look at this slide together. And I would like to point out again that IELTS is not mandatory. In a minute, you will understand why, because our Skype interview is a mini language exam. And that's why we can make an exemption. Or again, please remember that if students have an IELTS, we require 5.5 for the bachelor and 6.0 for the master students. Also, we have an age limitation. Please remember that we try to be as flexible as possible with this, but we have to keep this in mind. We also have to remember that there should be no failed subjects in the past of the students, and they should have an understanding of what they are really willing to study. And at this point, I will ask your kind attention that students should be guided many times. And I know that you yourself spend a lot of time with counseling, with guidance of the students, and this is going to be really important. Now, let's have a look at our Skype interviews, because I promise you that this is like a mini language exam. Let me talk about the first part now. So we will start with ice breaking, because we understand that for some of the students, this might be the first time that they are talking to a foreign person. They have to get used to my pronunciation, how I look, even. I know some of the boys don't even dare looking at me or my colleagues. Yes, we are aware of this. Don't panic. We understand this. So we will start with easy topics like family, hobbies, daily routine. I will ask questions like, okay, how do you cope with the lockdown? Is anybody in your family affected? How can you relate to this? How is life nowadays in India? How did your personal life change? So we will start talking about these topics, and we will try to create a very friendly atmosphere as much as possible. We understand that this is an exam, but we try to be as kind of direct to the students as possible. Part 2 is going to be the most important, I would say. This is the part when we will ask students about the personal motivation. So each and every student will be asked this question: why do you want to study at Budapest Metropolitan University? So I would like to highlight the pronoun you. So why do you want to study? So if students start giving me answers like Hungary good, Hungary people, friendly people, Hungary Schengen country, as you can see, this is limited vocabulary. I can see it from very first sentences. I can also spot that the grammar is not correct. So we can make an assumption about the student based on these questions. Okay, so very importantly, I would like to ask you as counselors to train the students for our interviews, because we understand that students are not used to this. I understand that the Indian education system is nothing like this, but believe me, students will have to cope with the European education here in Hungary. So that's why we want to test where they are in this long procedure. Okay. So again, question is, why do you want to study at Budapest Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Okay, I don't know what happened. Out of a sudden, my screen went blank. But no, I could get it back. So let me try and share my screen again. We were at this slide. Okay. Can you please confirm that you can see my slide now? Okay, you can see the slide. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we were at the question, why do you want to study at Budapest Metropolitan University? The best piece of advice I can give to you is to train the students to answer this question, okay? Because based on our experience, we feel that students are unable to answer this, okay? So please remember that this question has two parts. Why do you and in Hungary at Budapest Metropolitan? This question is going to be asked 100% at the visa interview from the students as well. So they should have a ready-made answer in their heads what to answer to this question. Please also remember that if you have multiple students, the motivation of each and every student should be different, okay? So that's why I'm telling you, I know it takes a lot of time to train the students, but it will be worth it, I would say. So what can be a good answer to this? Well, I want to study in Budapest Metropolitan because I checked other universities and I can see that the price range will fit my budget. And also I saw this and that or have heard this and that about Hungary. And I found that this is going to be a great choice for me. Or I checked the webpage of Budapest Metropolitan and found that this is going to be the university that I'm after. Okay. Very, very importantly, we will also ask questions related to the field that students want to study. Let me give you some examples. From business administration and management, we will ask some questions regarding businesses. So, for example, I will ask student, okay, so just imagine that I'm giving you 10 lakh rupees to start your business. What kind of business would you start? Would you start with goods or services? Let's imagine that, let's say, you live in Mumbai and you want to trade with Delhi. How can you find business partners in Delhi? Would you start your business now or would you wait a bit more after the virus is over? Do you know anybody who is a businessman? Can you tell me how his business was affected by the coronavirus? Do you know anybody who made a great fortune or great wealth during the coronavirus? How was it possible? What was his secret? So as you can see, we will ask questions related to business because we want to test that the student has some understanding about how businesses are run in general. Okay. On the other hand, if the student wants to study tourism and catering, I will ask, okay, so let's say you live in Kolkata. Can you tell me a few sites that are worth visiting in Kolkata? Just imagine that I'm a visitor of your wonderful region and I will spend 5 days there. What would you show me in West Bengal? What are the places that I should definitely visit? Which hotel would you suggest me to stay in? Do you know what makes a hotel 3-star? What makes a hotel 5 stars? Just imagine that we are entering a hotel together. What will I see? Do you know what the concierge is responsible for? Just imagine that you work at the front desk. What kind of customer complaints may happen, may pop up on a daily basis? So as you can see, we will ask questions related to tourism, and we want to find out if the student has some understanding. Of course, I might ask students, can you tell me where a majority of the tourists are coming from to India, or the other way around, where Indians mostly travel to? So you can expect questions like this, and as you can see, we will make an assumption based on the answers and the knowledge of the students. Path 3, and this was deliberately on the slide during the whole session. What do you know about Budapest and Hungary? Why do you want to come to Budapest Metropolitan, and so on and so forth? So we'll definitely ask students questions about Hungary. Because also at the visa interview, students will have to argue why they choose Hungary. So they will definitely have to know some facts and figures about Hungary. So please ask your students to learn about this, to study the materials. And very importantly, today I already mentioned you the mathematical test. If students want to study something related to business, we will put them on an online mathematical test, 8 questions, and students will have 30 minutes to work on this. Why is it important? Because students who want to study business programs will have microeconomics, macroeconomics, calculus, statistics, and this might be a headache for many of the students, especially for those who have had long gap years. So that's why we want to test their mathematical skills, and we want to find out where they are exactly. Now let's talk about the payments to be done. I have made you a calculation of the fees to be paid. As you can see, students will need to pay an application fee, dormitory deposit, visa assistance fee, healthcare insurance. As a bit of repetition, students will have to collect their documents. You will have to upload them to our online portal. We will check the documents. This is step 2. Then we will invite the students for the Skype interview. Until this, no payment was done. After the Skype interview, if it's positive, we will send you the conditional acceptance letter in which we will again list you the fees to be paid. If this Skype interview was not successful, I will send you at least 5-6 sentences of what went wrong during the interview, because I believe that you were working with the students, you know the student, and you can get a feedback from a university, which will be very valuable for you in the long run as well. So again, let's get back to the facts and figures. In the conditional offer letter, if we are talking about a bachelor student, the student will have to pay between 5,000 and 6,000 euros in a lump sum. For master students, it's going to be between 6,000 and 7,000 euros in a lump sum. I have put all the fees, all these fees, plus 2 semester tuition fee, and I have made this calculation with this. And now comes the highlight of the presentation, because usually we it's not visible here, but usually we provide 10% discount to the students as an initiative or as a promotion to participate in this virtual webinar with us. So it's going to be included for the students. Visa assistance fee, why is it important? Because we understand that visa is a key part of their coming to Hungary. So it will involve a mock visa interview. Again, I mentioned to you that students might find it hard to talk with foreigners. So that's why we are trying to train them for this. We will check their documents before the visa. We have a dedicated visa lawyer who used to work at the Hungarian immigration office, putting the rejected or the granted stamp on visa files. So this professional will be checking the documents of your students before you actually submit them at the visa interview. And also, very importantly, we can fix the visa appointment dates for you in New Delhi. Please remember that there are 2 embassies and 2 consulates, I would say, in Hungary. A consulate is located in Mumbai and an embassy is located in New Delhi. And we have contacts with the New Delhi embassy, and we can fix up the interview dates for your students. But later on, we will talk about this. You don't have to remember this. Okay. So let's go back and talk about a few more unique selling points of Budapest Metropolitan. The first one is the Erasmus Plus exchange program. I have an understanding that you are working with Europe. So some of you might have heard about this Erasmus Plus exchange program, but some of you might not have a deep understanding of this. So I would like to give you some facts and figures about this program, and also highlight the program in the sense that how can you sell it to the students? How can you make it a wonderful program that is really worth for students to participate in this? Maybe you remember the first program I mentioned to you. This is the cooperation with Northumbria University. As a bit of repetition, 2 years here in Hungary, 1 final year in London, and at the end, the 2 degrees will be completely identical. Whereas if students spend 2 years here in Hungary, they will be spending something like this as compared to staying in London for 3 years, but their degree will be identical. This is again a program that we usually like to say that we are opening up doors to students. So let's see how we are opening up doors to students with this Erasmus exchange program. I'm listing you 10 universities. All of these are our partner universities. In a previous slide, I mentioned that we have, who remembers, we have 200 plus partner universities. And I have put you 10. This is just a list. As you can see, they are located in Germany, the UK, Denmark, Netherlands, Spain, Ireland, France, and Switzerland. So as you can see, we have partner universities all over Europe. So let's see how this program really works. In the first year, you may also remember that students have the opportunity to study a new language absolutely free of charge. Most typically, Indian students pick up German, French, Spanish, or Swedish because the Scandinavian countries are also really popular among Indian students, especially for those who don't like the long Indian summers and they want to switch it to the long Scandinavian winters. So these are the languages that are the most popular. Students can have 4 classes a week absolutely free of charge in the first year. I'm not saying that they will be fluent, but with studying 1 year, 4 classes a week, they will be able to communicate. They won't get lost, and they will have some confidence. Of course, they will study the normal study program, and in the second year, they can participate in an exchange semester or even an exchange year. What does it mean? Again, they will remain the students of Budapest Metropolitan University paying this fee, whereas they enjoy the services of a university which would be charging about this amount. And the difference shouldn't be paid, so it's not to be paid. Because students, as I mentioned, are enrolled students of Budapest Metropolitan. They are just visiting students at the other university. Okay? On top of this, they will be receiving 500 euro scholarship per month to shift to another university. Naturally, they will study the normal study program, and once they get back, their credits will be accredited to the normal program. So this is what Erasmus exchange program offers the students. Again, as I mentioned to you, this is just opening up doors to the students. We are just pushing them to make the most of their European exposure, make the most of their staying here in Europe. Maybe remember I started with telling you about the Schengen zone visa and about the low-cost airlines. Yes, it's all possible here, and we have a dedicated Erasmus Plus center, and my colleagues are ready to help students to find another university or a partner university for them. Also, I have a list of the most important partners for us, not only the 10 most important, I would say, so that you can also share that with students and show them, yes, you remain enrolled student of Budapest Metropolitan, you pay this fee, but all these universities will be becoming available for you. because maybe you will meet students who are knocking on your doors, coming to your office, ma'am, please help me to go to this and that university. And you can see the grades, or you can see that there's no IELTS, or you can see the family budget is never putting the students to these prestigious European universities. But you can tell them, okay, never give up your dreams. Maybe you want to take a detour to Budapest Metropolitan and pursue your dreams all the time. Because I believe that as counselors, I'm also sometimes consider myself a counselor, although I'm working at the university. So this is our job to encourage students to never give up their dreams. Again, maybe the student is coming to you, ma'am, please help me to go to the UK, but I have so many concerns, uncertainties today. You can tell the students, come to Budapest Metropolitan, stay here for 2 years, and then you will see if it's possible for you, if you can afford going to the UK or not. Again, a final program that I would like to talk to you today is the Florida Golf Country Club program. I have put the image of the resort for you so that you can have an understanding how it looks like. This program is offered for tourism and catering students only, but remember I gave you some ideas about what questions we will ask from tourism and catering students. I also have put you the fees, and they are available for you later on as well. So students will be getting a J1 visa from here in Budapest. They don't have to go back to Delhi or to Mumbai, but they can have their visa done from here in Budapest. They will be earning $8.25 per hour because this is a paid internship. The program will run for 1 full year, but students don't have to worry about food and accommodation because it's going to be provided by the resort. And naturally, a career objective can be that they can get a US experience. They also have the possibility of retaining their visa if they stay at the resort or find some work outside this resort, because it's much easier to have your visa renewed than starting from scratch or from nothing. So as you can see, Budapest Metropolitan is offering a lot of programs to students. Please remember my sentence is opening up doors, because this is what the university is really pushing students to do. At the end, I will have a frequently asked questions section to the students. Mostly they are dealing with the September intake, because we understand that your students will be full of questions regarding this. I would like to put this as much info as I can to you. And we also have a dedicated microsite on the website of the university regarding the questions. So will the university start classroom teaching in September? Yes, I can confirm. We will start this. What should I do if I cannot submit my visa or if it's not granted in time? You don't have to panic, because we will also run the online education in a recorded format, bearing in mind that time zones might differ. What will happen if the borders are still closed in September? In this case, we encourage students to start the online education. Will I have the same courses during online learning? Yes, you will have absolutely the very same courses as if you were present. What happens if my visa application is rejected? I just put this question because most of your students will ask about this. In this case, we say that students will receive a refund. We will deduct some money, but students will be refunded. If they started their online education, they will also receive a transcript of the credits that they collected. What happens if I complete the whole first semester online? We will be really happy. And as I mentioned, students will receive a transcript of records. What are the benefits of starting my semester online instead of waiting until the travel restrictions are lifted? Well, I would say there are a number of benefits. Firstly, students won't feel idle, so they will be kept busy by studying. Also, they can finish earlier. Naturally, if they start earlier, they can finish earlier. And I would say, very importantly, students will have an attachment to the university, and also they will have a stronger visa file. So I definitely encourage students whose visa is not that secure to start online. Why am I saying this? Because if students start online and the immigration office can see that the student has one semester of study history at a Hungarian university, they will understand that this student really wants to study, really. Because what does it mean to study online? I think in the past few months, all of us understood that it does take a trouble to work or to study from home, because there are so many things to distract you or your attention, and it does take a lot of stamina to push the button and follow what's going on the lectures. And of course, the immigration office is also aware of this, and they will definitely kind of give students an advantage, I would say. So if it's a kind of, yes, the student could be rejected, but no, we won't reject them, because the student already has a study history. So please remember all this. This is what I wanted to tell you today. So I wonder at this point if you have any questions, and I stop sharing my screen. Yes, here am I. Okay. So, ladies, any questions? I know it was really long. Sorry. Hope it was informative. So I'm waiting for the questions you may have. Okay, Danya's typing. So thank you. Okay, good. I was trying to address all the queries because we also received the same queries. But we understand that there might be newer and newer questions. Thank you, Svetna. Svetna, yeah. So basically, I will deliver the same presentation to the students. As I mentioned to you, the details will be a bit different, or the emphasis will be put on something else. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I do encourage you, or I offer that Mr. Maas should participate in this, because it's usually a nice balance. Because I talk, and then I just ask a question from Maz. Maz, do you remember your first day when you were at the university? Do you remember the first month? What was the most kind of challenging for you? And so on and so forth. Or I'm just showing the images of Budapest, and I ask Maz, do you have a memory of this and that? So as you can see, the students can relate to that. Okay, right. So as I can see, you have no further questions at this point. It was also my pleasure to talk to you. I'm sorry that I can't see you. I know that you're working hard. I would like to thank you all for that. Let's hope that this epidemic is over soon, and I do hope your families and you yourself are safe from this COVID-19. It would be brilliant to see each other one day, and it would be more brilliant to welcome one of your students in September in Hungary, in Budapest. Okay. Yes, thank you. We are also very safe here. So this is what I wanted to tell you today. What I suggest that we get back to the details of the student seminar. I'm in touch with Mr. Abdul, if I'm pronouncing his current name correctly. And I will be waiting for any feedback. And if you miss any documents, please let me know, because I'm not sure what reached you. because I send these documents basically to Mr. Abdul. So I wonder what you received. Okay, so if you have no more questions, no more comments. Okay, I can see some of you are typing. Yes, chat. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So if you just take some time to have a look at these documents again, maybe it will make more sense now, as we were talking about these documents. Because I understand that you keep getting documents from so many universities, and it must be really hard for you to remember all the requirements. And that's it. Okay, so if no more queries from you ladies, then we can wrap this up. Again, thank you for inviting me, and let's keep in touch. Okay, so I'm waving goodbye to everybody. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.